Hello and welcome to How to Get Jacked. You have three main things you want to focus on: recovery, diet, and training. Okay, those literally just nail those three and you'll be fine. To dial in your recovery, all you need to do is make sure you're eating the right foods and get enough sleep. How much sleep do you need? You need like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Just try and get within that range. As long as you're there, you're fine. You want to wake up feeling fresh, basically. To try and get better sleep and better sleep quality, you want to try and fall asleep at around the same time every single day. And there's other tips and tricks. Just search YouTube or even Google how to get better quality sleep. Diet is probably the most important thing on this list. If you want to be as precise as possible, then I extremely highly recommend that you count your calories. Counting your calories sounds like a lot of effort, but it really isn't once you have it set up. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set up an app that lets you track your calories. Download this app called Macros. Okay, I'm gonna have a picture on screen. It's called Macros. Now you hear people talk about MyFitnessPal, and that was great back in the day, but you have to pay now to be able to scan barcodes. So if you want to pay for the premium version, then that's fine. If you don't and you don't mind using a different app, then use this app. It's called Macros. Okay, it's what I use. I've used it for the last year. It's perfect. So then download the app and then go onto Google or whatever you use to search the internet and type in calorie calculator. Put your details into the calorie calculator. Be as truthful as possible. Don't lie. You're just lying to yourself. And then the calorie calculator is going to spit back out your calorie maintenance. What that means is that's how many calories you have to eat per day to stay at the same weight, essentially. Obviously, it might change. It might fluctuate because of the amount of water you're having or something, but this is how many calories you're going to be having per day to stay the same weight. If you eat less calories than this, then you're going to lose weight. If you eat more calories than this, then you're going to gain weight. Once you have your maintenance calories, you need to figure out if you want to cut or if you want to bulk. Lots of people get stuck making this decision. They bounce back and forth and they don't fully commit to one or the other. The rule of thumb, in my opinion, is if you can't decide whether to cut or whether to bulk, you should cut. If you are not already lean enough so where you know that you need to bulk, then you should probably be cutting, especially if you are a beginner. If you're a beginner, then you can body recomp. This just means that you can lose fat while building muscle a lot more effectively, like it's actually a viable option. This is because you have access to something called newbie gains. This is just a phenomenon where your body is more able to grow muscle at the beginning of lifting because it's a new stimulus. Okay, now you should know if you are bulking or cutting. If you are bulking, then I want you to add 200 calories to your calorie maintenance. If you are cutting, then I want you to minus 200 calories from your calorie maintenance. So if your calorie maintenance, if it said 2,200 calories, if you want to bulk, then you should up that to 2,400 calories. And if you want to cut, then you should decrease that to 2,000 calories. Okay, you might need a calculator for this bit. We're going to work out how many grams of protein and how many grams of fats you need per day. So I'm going to be working in kilos right now because that's what I use. So for your protein, I want you to times your body weight in kilos by 2. I forgot to mention this while I was recording, but if you are very overweight, then you should use your ideal body weight or your target body weight. So say if you weigh 120 kilos, then you don't need 240 grams of protein. So what I recommend you do is you use the weight that you are aiming to be. So say you're aiming to be 80 kilos, then you would make your target 160 grams of protein per day. That is how much protein you should be having per day in grams. Write this down. And then your fat content should be 1.1 grams per kilo of body weight. So times your body weight by 1.1, and that should be the amount of fat that you have in grams per day. Okay, I'm going to go into the Macros app and I'm going to press on the pie chart at the bottom. And you can see at the top it says daily caloric requirements. So I'm going to press on that, and where it says caloric requirement, you just go on there and you put in whatever number you should have. So either the plus or minus 200 from your calorie maintenance. I am cutting right now, so I am at 2,200 calories. And then once you have your number in there, you should come back out and you should be on this screen. Okay, now you see where it says diet type. Mine is custom. You should set yours to custom too. Put it on custom, and then you can see here it should be set in percentages. You can change it to grams if you have premium. If you don't, it's fine. But you can just work around it as long as you make the total percentage about, well, it has to be 100. As long as you make it 100, you will be okay. So at the bottom you can see it says current percentage is 110, so I need to make it 100 essentially. So I'm going to lower my carbohydrates. That's probably the first thing to do, is lower your carbs, and then check what percent you need. I need 40, so I'm going to put 40. That gives me 220 grams of protein, which is too much. So I'm basically just going to keep on messing around with this until I get 156 grams for my protein. Okay, I've got 154 grams. It's close enough to 156. You don't have to get it exactly on. Just get it as close as possible. You don't have to be using bullet points in here. There's no need. Now I'm going to put my fat in, and I need that to be 85 grams per day since I'm 78 kilos. Just round your numbers to the nearest whole number. Otherwise, mine would have been like 84 point something grams of fat, but just round it up. So it's 85 grams of fat. See here it says 103, so I'm gonna have to decrease my fat and increase my carbohydrates. So I'm gonna do that now. Oh, okay, I got that first try. So 86 grams of fat is close enough to 85, and here we are. So it is automatically going to give you the amount of carbohydrates that you're going to get, and then you just press save and you're done. That is it. So now if you go to the third option at the bottom, which is going to be your diary, it will say at the top carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and it will also say your calories at the top. And then to track food, you just press add food, and then you type in whatever you're eating. You're gonna need kitchen scales. So say I'm gonna have a banana. Banana will be there, and I will just put in however many grams of banana I had. So say I had 100 grams of banana. Say I had some porridge. So I'm gonna type in oats. Okay, and now I go in my oats, and say I had 100 grams of oats. So here you can see it's counting up my calories and all my macros, and it will add to the total at the top here. You can put in your exercise and your water intake. I personally don't do that. Water intake would probably be good, but if you add exercise, then it like starts messing about with your, here at the top, it starts messing about with the amount of calories that you've had. I don't like putting that in. I like to just have the amount of calories that I have as a set thing. Yes, if you want to scan with a barcode as well, you can go on the scanner. Here we go. And then I'm in my room right now, so I'm just going to scan this Vaseline, and it's not going to come up with anything because no one's going to have tracked this Vaseline. But if you scan a food item, then it should come up with whatever the food item is. And it might not, it might still come up with this, which just means that no one has scanned it before and logged it. So what you want to do is you want to go to the top right where the plus is, and then you want to press create a new food. And here you can put the description. So, all right, mine's Vaseline. Obviously, I'm not going to put Vaseline. Say it was pasta. Okay, pasta. So pasta, you can put the brand. Say I got it from Sainsbury's. All right, and it will have the barcode there already. And then the calories, you just want to look at the back, and you see how it says nutrition facts per 100 grams. You just want to put in however many calories it says per 100 grams on the back, on the packet. And then you want to put in the fat, the carbohydrates, and the protein, and that's all you need. And then press save at the top right. It's right here, the save button. But I'm not going to do that, obviously, because I just scanned Vaseline. All right, now I know that the app might sound a bit scary at first, but the more you use it, the more you will get used to it. And the more you use it, your foods will start popping up. You won't have to like start scanning them. You won't have to start scanning the barcodes. You just type in pasta and it will come up with your pasta. Another key thing that I wanted to talk about diet was the amount of water that you're having. Okay, the amount of water that you have is like crucial. You want to be drinking like 1 liter, 2 liters of water a day. Just consistently get your water in. Okay, dehydration is a very bad thing for performance in the gym and just in general. But you know, on topic with this video, it's a bad thing for performance in the gym. It's one of the worst things you could do is dehydrate yourself. You're going to get cramps. You're not going to be able to push yourself like properly in the gym. Yeah, it's just completely bad. You don't want to be dehydrated, so drink your water. Okay, now we are on to training. The split type that I think you should do is upper lower. I recommend that to basically everyone. I know push pull legs is a big one, but I think upper lower is just the best fit for everyone. I would program it as upper lower rest, upper lower rest rest. But then take the rest days as you need them, almost, you know. If you're sore, then don't train. And now the rules of training, essentially, these are like the golden rules. We have train all the way to failure. You might hear people talking about leaving reps in reserve. We don't want to do that. Okay, we're only doing 2 sets, so take it all the way to failure. What I mean by failure is you cannot move the weights more than, let's say, about 40% of the range of motion. So say if I'm doing a bicep curl, then this would be 100% of the range of motion. And this would be about 50% because my arm goes about here. But as soon as I start to get like here and I can't get any more, I can't get any higher, then I'm going to leave it there because there's no point in me doing this. I'm not really doing anything. If I can get it above here, that I would keep on doing them. But if you can't get it more than 40%, then probably that's it, you're done. Okay, the next rule is I want good quality form. Not even good quality, okay? I want great quality form. This means on the eccentric, which is the downwards part of the movement, I want you to get around 2 seconds of movement. So say I'm doing a shoulder press, okay? On the way down, it's going to be 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then I want you to pause for like a half second at the bottom. This is of every movement. It doesn't have to be shoulder press. It could be bicep curls. So 1, 2, and then pause for a half second and then come back up. So that's a rule that I use. It just helps you avoid injury essentially, and it helps standardize your form. So that means that you know if you beat however many reps that you did last time, you know that it wasn't because you were cheating a little bit more. You use the same standardization. I don't even think that's a word, but you use the same standards. Talking about full range of motion, you want to almost prioritize the stretched part of the range of motion, which is why I say the partial rep, getting to about 40%. I mean in the stretched portion. So say my biceps are all the way down, they're stretched, and now I'll do stretched partials. They're called partials because you do part of the movement, you only do half of the movement. So lengthened partials is what they're called. Google them, research them a bit. There's not really much to research. Okay, rest time now. I would say rest about 3 minutes. It's very blunt the way I would say it, but rest about 3 minutes. You don't want to rest any less than 2 minutes, and if you're a beginner really, then you shouldn't be needing to rest more than 4 minutes. I think 3 minutes is about the sweet spot, though 2 minutes 30 for a lot of exercises is definitely acceptable. The way to know if you are ready to do your next set is check these 3 things. Check that your breathing is back to about normal. So you don't want to be like, you know, you want to be back to almost basically normal. You want to check that your heart rate is practically back to normal as well. That just means that you can't feel your heart beating out of your chest, essentially. And then you want to ask yourself the question, do your muscles feel like they are ready to do another high quality set? If they don't feel ready, then don't do another set. If they feel ready, then go ahead, do another set. All right, now we're getting into frequency. How many times should we be training each muscle per week, let's say? I think you should be training each muscle group about 2 to 3 times per week. And the amount of sets that I think you should be doing per training day is about 4 to 6, not 4T6. And the way to know if you need more than that is how sore you are. If you aren't sore after a session, then add another set onto your first exercise for that muscle group. So say on your upper day, say your chest wasn't sore after you did your last session. So this week on your first chest exercise, you're going to add 1 more set. So say that is incline chest press. We're going to add an extra set. So instead of doing 2 sets, you're going to do 3. And just see how you feel after that. If you still aren't sore, then you should maybe add another set onto your next chest exercise. So say that is chest flies, then you should add another set onto that. So now you're doing 6 sets total for chest, if those are the only 2 exercises that you're doing for chest in that workout. Now, if you need more than that, then maybe think about adding another exercise or adding maybe another set. Though adding more sets after that is maybe becoming a bit redundant. Okay, now it's time to talk about heavy. So that other portion of the training is done. I am essentially giving you a workout plan. It's not tailored to you, but that's up to you to tailor it to yourself. I've given you the whole spiel for upper and lower for both of the days. So your upper day and your lower day, I've given it you for free. So if you look in the description of this video, I will have a link and it should take you to the folder called Upper Lower for Beginners or something like that. I forgot what it's called exactly, but I think it is Upper Lower for Beginners, and it will have both upper and lower days. You'll have one called upper, one called lower. And on the app, it lets you log your whole workout essentially. So whatever weight you're doing, whatever amount of reps that you do per set, you just put in the weight, you put in the amount of reps that you did, and then you tick it off, and then it will start a timer. You can change how long the timer is, and then once the timer is done, you do your other set, you do your next set, and then you log the weight in there, you log the reps in there, and then that's it. And then you tick it off, and then you go again. So I use heavy. Follow me on there if you want. All of my workouts will be on there. So everything that I do, I'm fully transparent. You can see exactly what I'm doing in my workouts. So it's almost like free game, you can see exactly what I'm doing on there. You can just copy me if you want, but I don't recommend copying anyone, like bar for bar, because say if I'm doing dumbbell curls and you hate them, but my biceps are good, and you're like, oh, well, he does bicep curls, so I should probably do bicep curls. No, don't do that. Okay, just stay in your own lane. If you like doing, I don't know, cable curls, then do cable curls. Okay, as long as your form is good, everything's going to be fine. That's all for today's video. So go out there and get jacked. Yeah, if you like this, then maybe like and subscribe. I don't really post content like this. I post my own vlogs of me walking to the gym and walking back from the gym. I'll post some gym content, like actually me in the gyms every now and again. So if you liked, like and subscribe. If not, then I don't know, leave a comment saying that you didn't like this. If you got any questions, leave a comment. I will respond, I promise. Even if I get 1,000 comments, I will respond to every single one of them. So yeah, any questions, let me know. If not, then I will see you next time. Bye bye.